Okay, are we live? Yes? Okay, let's shoot. Hi, welcome back to EducateTube.com. My name is Sipsky, your host. Now, if you're one of the new starter of YouTube's, you're probably one of those 99% of YouTube community that'll be affected by monetization, right? Making money on YouTube. So it's quite stressful for a lot of YouTubers who's just starting out, and I myself is somewhere in between. I have over close to 10,000 subscribers, and I do meet their criteria of 4,000 hours per year and over 1,000 subscribers. However, I can feel for those who are trying to reach there. Now, why would I be the person that will give you good suggestion? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to give you 7 important essential tips to get you going from less than 1,000, less than 4,000 hours, all the way up to hopefully to where you want, right? The reason I can do that is because I'm somewhere in between, and I know how it was like when I first started till I know where I'm going to reach, and I'm going to show you what I would do to get there. All right, so stay with me. I'll just give 5 minutes of your time. I'm going to give you 7 tips. It may be longer than 5 minutes, okay? So I don't know how long I'm going to rant on this thing, but let's get started. Okay, so like I said, 99% of YouTubers who want to monetize their video will be affected by this. What YouTube now wants, this is going to start February 2018, I think February 20th, 2018. And what they want out of this is that if you want to stay in their AdSense or a way for you to get money, you must maintain 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewership per year. Now that translates to 250,000 minutes per year. And I did the calculation actually. It's quite nerve-wracking. It's actually quite hard. Okay, that's translate to, okay, if you divide 240,000 minutes divided by 365 days, that's equivalent to 658 minutes per day. So somebody is going to be watching your video, right, your YouTube channel, 658 minutes. Okay, now that's a lot, right? But let's say your video on average is 5 minutes. That would mean that you would need them to watch 5 minutes worth of your video, and it has to be 132 views of that videos, or how many videos you have. So imagine that 132 viewers watching 5 minutes of your video per day. That's what 4,000 hours per year translate into. That sounds really depressing for those who are just starting out. However, I'm going to show you 7 tips or 7 suggestions that will motivate you. Okay, so don't give up. Don't give up. Now that would be my 7th point, but right now I want to be more practical. I'm not going to say, oh, don't give up, don't give up. Like a lot of even, the one who are getting over 100,000 subscribers are telling you to don't give up. That's easy to said and done, right? So let me give you a more practical way to get you started so that you may reach that goal. First tips. Okay, I wrote this down, so bear with me. Create content with good intent. Okay, and what I mean by that is that create content that is quality, that has quality, and that's specific, right? Know your audience, like who are you talking to, and make sure the video is viewable, right? I would say go with at least 720p video, or 1080p would be the standard. You don't need to go 4K. That's not needed. Most people can't watch 4K on live streaming on a YouTube video. It's just too much bandwidth for a lot of like people, especially people outside of Canada or US, right? It may be harder for them to view like high quality video like 4K. So stick with 1080p. I would go with 1080p or 720p. So quality is important. So that's number 1. Create content with specific intent, right? So in other words, with intention. So make sure you have a focus. Make sure the content that you're trying to deliver to your audience, your viewers, you know who you're targeting. Okay, and even if you don't know the target, at least have a passion in the content. Make an effort to do that. Okay, tip number 1. Tip number 2: get your friends, get your family, get whoever you know to come to your channel, right? So try to get as much of people you know first, close to you, to view your channels, to subscribe to your channels. They are the one who will be dedicated to you. They're more trustworthy. They're more people who are willing to help you out, right? You don't need their money. You just need their time. And subscribe, right? Okay, and related to that, that would be the second tips, right? So get your friends and family to come see your videos, hopefully daily, and get them to subscribe to you. So third one, which is related, so this is the third tip. Let me see what I put here. Help others to help yourself. That sounds weird, right? Help others to help yourself. What does that mean? Well, go watch other people's YouTube videos, right? Something that you're strongly passionate about, and then watch a video and then make a constructive criticism if there is something to be made, right? Watch it and say, that's pretty good, or give them a comment. Yeah, you did a good job. Or if they didn't do such a good job, and say, oh, I like your video, but you should maybe think about this. Okay, so what happened is when you do that kind of, watch other people's video and you make comments, there's a possibility that they might be interested in your channel as well because you have something related. Okay, or they maybe say, oh yeah, I like your suggestion. That's a very good constructive criticism. I might subscribe to you, right? Anyway, it also show that you're interested in other people's channels as well, and so there is some kind of connection. Okay, so do that. And on your channel, also make sure you answer specific questions if you can. I know, once you become more and more popular, it's going to be very hard to do that, right? And always, if you can, thank your viewer for watching, right? That's important. All right, that's my third tip. So we're not even done yet, right? Okay, number 4. Very important. This is actually a lot important, and I don't know why a lot of people who is in the 100,000 subscriber or more doesn't suggest this, and I believe in this. You need to brand yourself. Okay, what I mean by that is, you can see EducateTube. This is my channel. I brand myself, and how I do that is that I have external website. I actually, as you can see, it's EducateTube. I have a website that's outside of YouTube. Okay, so when I'm engaging in this video, I always try to mention that I have another website like EducateTube. And so just in case, let's say 10 years from now, YouTube may not exist, at least those who are committed to my channel is able to go to the website or blog that I created for them, and then they can still engage with my content. So make sure you brand yourself by having other content on another website that you created. Okay, that's very important. Now, I know some of you may say, I don't know how to do a website, but there's a lot of company that, a lot like Wix, for example, a lot of that. I'm not sure, I don't use Wix, I use my own web hosting, and I create my own website. But anyway, let's say if you start out, you might want to do that for free, or may pay a few dollars a month to do that, okay? But I do suggest that you do that. You have a website outside of YouTube, okay? Now, some people say, why don't you go with other video content website like Dailymotion or Vimeo, which, yes, I would suggest you do that. But remember, you only have a certain amount of time to do this. You don't want to spread yourself thin. So if YouTube is the main content where you put your video, then do that. And then when you do have time, upload it to Vimeo or Dailymotion, right? That's what I would suggest you do. But generally, try to, and another thing is, when you have a video, make sure you put a logo on your video to protect your content, okay? This is also part of that branding yourself. So when you have a website, make sure you put a little logo or mention that this is your content, and then, when people try to copy it, it's actually your stuff, okay? And then you can always distribute that and say, look, you're copying my stuff, you didn't ask me for my permission. Right, so do that. Make sure you put a logo there, or mention it and throughout your videos that this is your content, and say if it's your website, EducateTube, like that. All right, that's tip number 4. Tip number 5. Do I have it here? Let me see. Yes, I do, but it's there. We go. Bear with me for a minute. Yes. Okay. Motivate. So tip number 5. Motivate by creativity and passion. Now, you've heard of that before, right? But I'm going to emphasize this again. I know money is important. You want to earn money. But YouTube, when you first start, you're not going to make a lot of money. Let me tell you that. Now, I didn't get my first paycheck until 5 years later. And that's because I left a video that was up. I didn't even know it was getting popular. And all of a sudden, I noticed that YouTube sent me a little a message saying that you're now qualified to be in part of the AdSense partnership. I'm like, oh, great. What does that mean to me? And then when I first got my first paycheck, I thought, oh, that's what it means. Getting $100 paycheck, that's pretty good. But that wasn't why I started. I was like, let's give it a try. What does it hurt, right? I like what I'm doing, so might as well do it. So first, you need to be motivated by your passion, of something that you like to do and want to show people, and your creativity. That's the key, right? Money is important, I said here, but initially it should be supplementary to your motivation. Okay, so you try to be motivated by your creativity and passion, and so that's your main goal initially. Now, eventually, maybe money, it would be your final goal at whatever that pathway may be, but I would just stick with passion and creativity for now and go with that, right? And point number six, be on the lookout for other revenue system, or I say stream. Okay, so I know that Amazon is trying to come out with their video content website or channel, and they're promoting that, but I know I was checking around, and Amazon hasn't matured yet in that sense, and it's very hard for a person to load up the video on Amazon, expect to get paid right away. In fact, they kind of screen your channel, and you have to do it a certain way. For example, you have to have the right pictures, right graphic content and all that, and it's mainly geared towards videographer, people who actually do short films and all that. Okay, so you can give it a try. Go to Amazon video content thing that you can participate in, but right now I think they're more focused with those people who are doing short films or videographer, so they're very selective. That's good to know. Okay, another one that if you're good at, like, say, doing something like guitar, teaching people how to play guitar, or teaching people how to do programming, or whether it's science, math, whatever it is, Skillshare is a good website as well, Skillshare.com or .net. Okay, and also you may want to get people to sponsor you by joining Patreon. You probably heard about that, but if you're starting from the bottom, it's very hard to get people to sponsor you, right? You have to have the content, and the content has to be really good for people to be motivated to pay you. Okay, so that's I would say somewhere when you reach 1,000. This is why it's a catch-22, right? In order for you to reach 1,000, you have to be popular, right? And then in order for them to sponsor you, you also have to be popular. So, like, when do we reach there? So that's hard. Okay, that's why I can totally understand where you're coming from as a YouTuber, starting out YouTubers. What else? And then, of course, if you're doing something creative and you made a design or something on YouTube and you made 10, 20 of them, you might want to sell that. Okay, so try to sell your material that you made on YouTube and or put it on for sale at Etsy and other selling website, like auction website like eBay and all that stuff. And if you're mentioning some product, like say certain cameras and all that, and you yourself would buy, or you already bought it and you highly recommend it, make sure you put a affiliate link. Try to link that with Amazon. Try to create a Amazon affiliate link, and you may get a few bucks from that. Like I said, it's not easy to make a lot of money. A lot of people don't have money to buy stuff, right? However, if you have a video that's very useful, very helpful, and regarding that specific equipment, let me give you an illustration. For example, there was a adapter for Magic Jack, right? So I was doing a video on how to fix a Magic Jack thing, and there was a special adapter I was able to suggest to people, AC adapter. And a lot of people was asking me about that. What is it? I didn't want to make money from that, right? I just want to give you them help. And then all of a sudden they were asking, what adapter was that you used? And I'm like, okay, I just kind of got from, wherever I have from, leftovers that I collected. And then so I researched for them, and I found a adapter, and I didn't make money from this. I just gave them a link. I did not affiliate link, but link. But from there, from that video, I could have made money by putting a suggested link for that adapter, and I'll probably get money from that. All right, so like that's what I'm saying. Like you can actually make money from that because it's a useful information, and people want to buy that product in order to fix their stuff at a cheap price. So, okay, that's about it. And there's one more point, and that's point number 7. And you heard this throughout other YouTubers, whether it's big or small, and they say to you, and this is useful, it's motivated, but like I said, it's not very specific. But here I'll go again with that, is don't give up. Okay, very important. I know it's very simple. It's like you just, it's easy for you to say. You're there already. Yes. So anyway, just remember, don't give up. Be committed. Okay. Know your goals. Like, why are you doing YouTube, right? So know your goals. Set it. Okay. Just like any athletes, they want to be in the top. They have to train themselves. They got to work hard. Okay. So if you're motivated by money, by fortune, well, maybe that's at your advantage, so you got to work harder for that. Okay, so and also think about others' income streams, right? YouTube may be one. Maybe you want to branch out to Amazon. You may want to branch out to Patreon. You may branch out to selling your items, whatever it is. If that was the goal, is to make money or income or fortune, then you have to think about outside of YouTube. When you make a video, for example, try to suggest maybe something else you want to sell, or something else you want to ask people to support you, right? And fame. Now, some people want to go on YouTube because of fame, right? Want to be popular. Well, again, you might want to do, other than YouTube, you might want to use Facebook, right? Maybe you want to have Twitter account. Probably you do have. I don't have Twitter. At least I'm not actively involved in Twitter and Facebook. For me, I'm just too busy to do that. I just focus on YouTube only. But let's say because for me, it's not about fame. But for some people, maybe you want to be famous, well, then use other media, right? Facebook, Twitter, whatever thing you can connect to your audience or to your viewer. And that's, maybe you want to go with that one. And lastly, if it's for purpose, whatever it is, okay? Know that purpose. For me, like for example, we want to have purpose in life, right? For me, it's about the love for God, love for my family and for the people that surrounds me, and for myself. Okay, that's important. That's my purpose in life. So have that with you when you're doing anything, because having a purpose in life, right, motivates you. No matter what, especially when there are a lot of people trying to put you down. So think about that. Have God being. I'm myself. I'm a Christian, so I have God first, family, friends, people who I trust. And then, of course, myself, right? I have to love myself so that I can make life better for others. Because, at the end of the day, you're dealing with yourself. You die, you're dealing with yourself. All right? Everything you're seeing, imagining, talking is all within yourself. You think about it, like 90% of your time you're spending with yourself. Yeah. Okay. So that was my 7 suggestions. Actually, it was more than 5 minutes. I know I said only 5 minutes, right? We went over, I think, was it almost 20 minutes? Thanks for watching. All right. So 7 tips. Hopefully that's helpful. And if you have other ideas, put a link, comment below, and let's work together. All right, guys. YouTube. If you're listening, please help those who are just starting. Okay. Don't penalize them for that. I think you can do a better job. Thanks for watching EducateTube.com.